I'm Just Saying is sponsored by Hover.com. Go to gfu.hover.com and get 10% off your entire purchase. FreshBooks. FreshBooks is an easy-to-use online invoicing service that saves you time, gets you paid faster, and makes you look professional. Get started completely for free at freshbooks.com. And by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook by going to audiblepodcast.com/GFQ. Everybody, welcome to I'm Just Saying Week 80, the last show of the year.
Absolutely.
This is it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. We're actually, it's going to be 2 years now because we started
a couple of weeks after New Year's last 2 years
Is
ago.
it really?
Yeah. It was actually the week after New Year's because we had off the first week and you guys started the following week.
Which means we've missed like 24 shows.
20 shows. You've missed a half a year.
Oops.
Well, no, in
We're
2
sorry,
years.
Andrew.
In 2 years.
In 2 years. So we've missed a quarter of a year.
10
every
shows.
year.
10 shows a year. No, I don't. That can't be.
We've missed
but
a
you
show
know what
a
it
month.
was? There were a couple holidays,
Yes.
right, on Monday.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it exactly. Balkan Pride Week.
Yeah.
Couple of
Today's
holidays.
Boxing Day.
Arbor Day.
That is true. Today is Boxing Day.
Yeah. Couple emergencies happened. So
Yes.
there were a couple
A couple
things
of
that
times
happened.
we were away. European trip.
Yeah.
And when we go to Europe, screw the network.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there are shows that we continue with other guests, but I feel that the show revolves around you guys, so there's no reason to bring someone else in and sub in for the show.
That is true because we are so important.
Very important, Joe.
Yes.
Very important.
Very important.
How was your Christmas? We're on Monday the 26th, so it's the day after Christmas.
Yes.
And it was very eventful. And what did you say? I said eventful.
Vengeful.
And vengeful. Yes, that too. How was it for you guys?
It was very nice. Unfortunately, Lonnie,
Let's start with Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve
was
very nice.
Was lovely.
And we
Yes.
sat and we had like a 4-hour-long political discussion with all my
with
cousins.
my family.
Who are very,
How did that go?
very, very, the other side of the family, very right wing.
Yes.
We're much more left wing. And we're still friends. It was kind of cool.
But
Everyone listened to each other after interrupting each other, many times
well, we're
over.
Italian. We yell.
Yeah. So it's yell, have wine,
Right.
laugh.
Right.
Yell, have wine, laugh.
No, but actually what was really nice is my nieces and nephews, especially the younger ones, they're getting old enough now to actually have a discussion like that.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed with them because they actually had something to say, and they were interested in something important. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That they were interested in the world and what was going on, and they actually
What
had
was the
things
topic?
to say.
What were you guys talking about?
Kind of the economy and
Obama,
the
The troops coming back.
the election.
yeah, just in general.
I'm thinking I'm going to make my bid for presidency.
You are.
I'm probably
when
more
are you gonna
qualified than
announce?
90% of the people running.
That is probably true.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That
probably
is
don't have
probably
enough
true.
scandal
Oh.
to be a candidate.
Well, I might flip the camera on to my screen and you might see something you're not supposed to.
Oh, dear.
There you go.
That could possibly happen because there are times I'm doing some stuff during the show.
That is
Would
true.
you have like a hair malfunction as opposed to a wardrobe?
No, but you know what they would just have to do? They would just have to comment and be like, "Oh, so we're looking at a couple pictures. You know what we'll see? It'll be, of course, a UK magazine. They'll show a before and after, and it'll be me like from like 3 years ago, my hair, and now they'll be like, is his hair thinning? And that'll be it for me.
Yeah, and then they'll splice a picture
That's all
with
you'll
you
need.
with you with Tom Brady,
Yeah.
consulting, and you are friends with Spencer.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, so
yeah,
Something
that's
is going
true.
on.
That's true. Something's going on.
Absolutely. That'd be sad. Six.
No, I'm sure. You know what? They'll probably pull him. And I always say, part of my bucket list that Lon always
refers back to.
refers back to, and which he got me to do is, and it's a thing that I'll 99% won't do, but I've always been interested in politics, and I would love to run for like local office.
Would you?
Like
really?
I would love to be like a local assemblyman or congressman or even like a mayor.
He wants to be Anne Margaret Carrazzo.
Yeah, I want to be district leader. So that's something that I've always been interested in, and I'm thinking, I'm like, God, I
We
see
should
such
start a
awful
union.
My
stuff.
father was an assemblyman.
Was he?
Oh yeah, before he was a
16
judge.
Years, yeah.
He
Yeah,
represented
was an assemblyman
Astoria,
for 16 years.
Queens.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I had no clue. I knew he was a judge, but I didn't know that.
Yeah,
What's
I
really
grew
cool-
up in a political household.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
So you've been through
And
it
what's
all.
hysterical
I have.
is if
you
you're
don't want to do it.
if you're a political figure, particularly at that time, if you're a political figure, you were a Democrat. He was about as
Yeah.
liberal as Attila the Hun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was a Democrat.
Yeah.
It was hysterical.
Well, because
had he been on Long Island,
in
he
those,
would have been a
in those
Republican.
days, if you were in New York City anywhere, if you wanted to get elected, you had to be a Democrat. I mean, that's pretty much
Yeah,
what
sure.
it was.
And it's still like that. I mean,
It is pretty much still like that. But it was more so even then. But yeah, his personal politics, yeah. It was,
well, listen, are you saying that a politician was not truthful about where he stands on a subject?
no.
I mean, come on, that doesn't
I
happen.
would never
See, that
say
is my
that.
problem. I have said such radical stuff on the show,
I have never seen.
and I know
yeah, it
for a
would all
fact.
be-
They
It's all-
would see
it
that
all
would come
lives.
back.
Do you know about the bit that we do on my show if Andrew was president? Do you know how I'm immigration reform? Do you know how I do it?
Oh dear.
I shut the borders for 5 years. Nobody comes in or out of the country.
Uh-huh.
We fix our problems. Then we open it up selectively. And in order to become a citizen or to get your visa, you have to run through an obstacle course like that ABC show Wipeout.
The Hall of Whirling Knives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you
great.
get it. That is where I stand on this.
Hey, listen. You know how I've been looking into like bees. You know, bees have.
As in, where the bees are disappearing. Lauren.
Yeah.
Where
Well,
are
actually-
they? Where are they?
I think they've gone to Florida.
Yeah.
Where there is no
I don't
housing.
like the bees. They can go.
I know. I love. She does. She needs
Why
bees.
could you hate the bees?
Anyway,
They sting.
bee colonies have. How many times have you been stung in your life?
Never.
Yeah.
Because I stay
Yeah.
away from the bees.
I love this.
Well, I don't.
She screams like
You never had to put mud on the bee sting?
No.
No.
You never had to get peed on? No, that's
no,
a jellyfish.
That's
Jellyfish.
a jellyfish.
I know a friend that had to get peed on.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you just tell him
We
that?
all peed
No,
on her.
no. That was a jellyfish, man.
We were really excited to pee on her. It was actually an R. Kelly rap video. That's what it turned into.
Oh dear.
Lovely,
dear,
lovely,
dear.
lovely.
No, but she got stung and her boyfriend needed to pee on her.
Where were you?
At the beach. At Jones,
Obviously, but what?
at Jones Beach.
Really?
Yeah.
No, that was
Not
that,
Jones Beach.
that
The one a little further up.
Robert Moses.
Robert Moses.
Well,
Yeah,
there
that's
are
that weird
there are
inland
times-
jellyfish.
Yeah.
There,
The
no,
lake
there are
jellyfish.
times like in August that the jellyfish are really bad.
It could have been Puerto Rico. Not
Or
sure.
Mar-
Because
Margaret
that's
Moses.
really close.
Or Margaret Moses.
yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Too funny. No, I was looking at bee colonies, and they have a queen, and there's a certain number of workers, and there's a certain amount of drones, and it looks like there's a structured system.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that maybe society should reflect that, so that we have like too many people. So what we need to do is
The
start-
caste system.
Well, not even just a caste system, not a caste system. We need just to stop the population.
Oh, we need to stop breeding.
Yeah, we just need to
We
stop
definitely
breeding.
need to
Well, we
stop
are
breeding.
actually. If you look at the stats, the Japanese, they're going to be extinct in hundreds of years
Yeah,
because they're not producing
yeah, because
Really?
they're
children. Yeah.
yeah. Well, one
they
these
work too
countries
much.
that and these countries that
Yeah.
are insisting on only male children.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's most of the Middle East,
it's-
Asia,
well,
and Europe.
But
India,
it's beca- it's
huge
starting
in India.
to
It's
become
called
a problem.
It's called gendercide.
Yeah.
It's this huge
but,
issue.
But what's happening? It happened in China. It's happening now in China.
There's no one to
a
marry.
whole generation of young men who have no women,
Have no women. Yeah.
and young men without women, not good.
This is a problem.
Yeah.
Not
What
Well,
are they
good.
gonna
you know
do?
what it is. Even in my family,
There will be
in my
dancing.
culture, like a boy is pride.
Right.
Like my father has 3 boys.
Oh.
Like that's a big deal.
So he's
Like
special.
you don't know like the reaction he gets. He's like, oh, I got 3 boys. He goes, you have 3 boys, man. You're
Whoa.
lucky.
3
You're
sons.
Lucky. Yeah, 3 sons.
No, absolutely.
Little do they know that I'm a girl inside.
That's true.
Me
Yeah.
too.
I sit down and watch Gossip Girl all day long.
Do you really?
I had a Gossip Girl
Oh,
marathon.
you know what I
the other
found
day.
I
on
love
like
Gossip Girl.
on like the Family Channel? The Gilmore Girls is on. I'm like watching it again.
Rory
Yeah.
and her motorcycle riding boyfriend.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you
Listen,
go.
all I want in life is Blair and Serena to be my friend, and that's why I'm attending Columbia next year.
You're attending
Yeah.
Columbia.
And
So-
Dan, I don't like Dan.
Dan, which one's Dan? Oh, Dan,
Dan.
Lonely Boy.
Yeah, don't like him. Not a fan of him.
Oh no, I like him.
Is
not
he
a fan.
misunderstood, honey?
Yes.
Oh,
He's
well, you don't like him.
misunderstood.
The girls all like the
He's
misunderstood
hot.
guy.
He is very hot.
He's hot and misunderstood.
He is very hot. If he weren't so
Quasimodo was misunderstood.
if he was,
Yet he
if
wasn't-
weren't
wasn't
so young,
pulling
I
in the
would put
chicks.
him on my fidelity waiver clause. But
Yeah.
I have to be realistic.
Okay.
But
so
he's hot.
I don't know how did we end up with
I don't know.
Gossip Girl from Christmas.
Christmas.
But for Christmas, what I did this year, it was actually a little mixed up because generally what we do, Christmas Eve at my family's,
Right.
Christmas Day at Jessica's family.
Right.
But this year, Christmas Eve, Jessica's mom had brunch.
Oh,
And,
okay.
Interesting.
my family did Christmas on Christmas Day for the first time in like 25
So
years.
you didn't have Christmas Eve? So you did Christmas Eve alone?
Minds are gonna be blown by what I'm gonna tell you.
Uh-oh.
We had Christmas Eve in the morning.
Okay.
You went to Erewhon.
No. So Jess and I were trying to figure out what are we gonna do because there's not much to do. We were gonna go see the tree
Okay.
and go see the winter, and then we realized that it's gonna be a madhouse because everybody's going to go see the tree on Christmas Eve.
We did that one year, yeah.
It's crazy.
It actually wasn't that year.
I have a revelation.
Uh-oh.
I went to the movies.
Oh, my God.
The
You're
first
a Jew.
time
You're a Jew.
I am a Jew.
Oh, my God.
I have said
For those of you outside the country,
Andrew does not
in New
go
York City-
to the movie theater.
in New York City, Christmas for Jews is
the movies.
movies and Chinese food.
And Chinese food.
Chinese food.
Yes,
By
because
the
that's
way-
the only restaurants that
Yeah.
are open.
Well, I didn't do the Chinese food because we had a lot of food, but we went to the movies. I have not been to a movie theater in 12 years. The last movie I saw in the movie theater was the second Austin Powers, I think.
Oh, God.
Or the first, not too sure. I cannot remember, but it was that long ago. I remember seeing The Mummy, the original Mummy, so it has to go all the way back. Probably 97, 98.
What did you go see?
Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
How was it?
Excellent.
Really?
Yeah,
She
know
got
what?
nominated for a Golden Globe, you know.
Who?
The girl,
the
whatever
girl.
her
The
name
girl,
is.
for which movie?
Girl
with the Dragon
It
Tattoo.
just came out, the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
well,
did
the
it
The
on-
Golden Globes do preview viewings. and
She
Yeah.
was actually, I'll tell you something. Did you read the book?
No, I didn't.
I read a couple chapters, and I just got it was, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the timing. Maybe it was I was busy, but it didn't connect to me.
Right.
I tried the audiobook. Didn't connect to me.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the movie was just amazing. Everything about that movie was absolutely perfect for the storyline. They did a really good job at telling the story and how they connected everybody. And I was actually blown away on how good they did it because most of the time the adaptation from book to film,
Right.
not that great.
Right.
I mean, there are exceptions, but now you brought up the interesting thing.
Uh-oh.
The entire time at the movie theater, and I'm sorry, this is going to sound a little inappropriate, but this is what was happening. Harry, who is this on the TV?
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Was this in the book?
Oh, I love that. My favorite ever. I was seeing a movie in a particular part of the city that has a more Hebraic population.
Yeah.
I'm watching Witness, the one with Harrison Ford in
I don't
Amish country.
understand this.
Harrison Ford in Amish country. There's a guy who's half asleep, and I hear, "What? Is this Hasidim?"
No.
It's great.
So there's Harry. I don't know what her name was. Harry. Could have been Marty and Irene. Just sub out a name. They were having a full conversation. Well, she was having a full conversation with him the entire movie. And then she does this. She actually bends down and looks at Jessica and goes, I don't think I like this movie.
Are you serious?
Swear to God. And it was during a rape scene in the movie. Like an anal rape scene. And Jessica goes, really? And now Jess is getting annoyed, and you know how she gets, like, she can't hold back. So now Jess is talking really loudly in response, like, I'm like, do you want popcorn? She's like, yeah, I'll have some popcorn. It was like 5 people in the movies. It was her and her, like, cousin, like, her friends, the Harry and the wife, and, like, a couple of friends. And they're having a full discussion the entire time about, was this in the movie? I don't like this.
Is that it?
Okay.
I don't think that's appropriate.
Is that
Let me
it?
tell you something.
Is that it?
When we had our theater company, a good deal of our audience were seniors, and they're hard of hearing.
Okay. Hamlet is a prince, and his uncle is
know
the
what it's
king
like?
now.
You think it's bad when you're watching the movie?
Try being in the
Try
play.
being
Oh
in the
my
play,
God.
okay? And you would hear, and then sometimes you
Well,
would hear,
now
like,
I understand why they call them tights.
you would hear things like, I have to go to the bathroom. I swear. And they would be so loud. And you're in the middle of like doing some emotional scene.
So the movie was long, right? The movie was long. Now we're approaching, I guess, the last 30 minutes of the movie. Harry's wife decides she needs to go to the bathroom.
Oh, good Lord.
Best conversation ever.
Oh, love it.
Harry, what?
I have to go to the bathroom. What time is the movie ending?
Oh God.
I don't know what time the movie's ending. If I miss the ending, I'm going to be very upset. I'm just letting you know. I'm going to be very upset. So don't go to the bathroom. But I had too much Pepsi. I have to go. I have to go.
Oh, my
Excuse
God.
Harry, move your legs. Move your legs. I have to go.
She missed the end of the movie.
All right, yeah, there we go.
We go outside. We're leaving now.
And this is why Harry walks stoop-shouldered.
Harry is a defeat. He's a defeated man. Harry is finished. I mean, there's nothing left for Harry to live for.
That's why
The entire old Harry, Harry didn't say more than maybe 3 words and shush the entire 2.5 hours. It was a very long movie. We go out now. Harry's, going out, and I guess the friends were quiet. It was just her. We go out. She's coming into the movie and goes,
What happened?
the movie's over.
You mean to tell me I missed the movie? Harry, I told you I didn't want to miss the end of the movie. So was it like the book?
Harry goes, I've never read the book.
well, because
And
in
the
the
woman
book,
goes- The woman goes, the friends go, none of us have read the book. She goes,
Oh, so you didn't read the book. I didn't read the book either.
and I wanted to turn around and be like, then why the fuck are you asking, is this like the book? How does anybody know? This was the most disconnected conversation I've ever heard. It was like she was talking 2 people on 2 separate planets having a conversation in 2 separate languages.
I love this.
It was I don't know, like the movie was excellent, and I don't know if that's the reason why it was excellent. It was worth the $80 that movie cost me. It was phenomenal.
What movie theater did you go to?
Bay Terrace.
$80.
Well,
Better.
not $80. It was like $30 for the tickets. It's like $12 a ticket. Add the tax. Plus, I had to get popcorn. I got sodas.
Oh, okay.
Came out to like $30 just for that crap. It's like $50.
Yeah, there's like a payment plan to go to movies.
Yeah.
But that was my Christmas Eve.
Well, Christmas Eve. Okay, Christmas Eve is we went to Staten Island. It's what's weird
There's
is
not
we
a
went to,
lot of us over there.
No, we went to Staten Island both Christmas Eve and Christmas, but came home in between. We should have stayed over, but staying over would have mean staying over. Yeah, so
that's
it
a very uncomfortable thing for me. I can't do sleepovers.
You know what? I will have anyone in the world at my house. You want to crash at my house? Have at it, man. Sleep on the couch. Bring a blow-up sofa. There's a bed downstairs.
I kind of like my bed.
I kind of like being in my house.
Yeah, see, me too. I even when I go away, it's a really big problem, and I always say,
No, I don't mind if I'm in a neutral space.
okay, let
like
me
a
ask you though.
hotel
Okay,
or
so
a-
let me ask you.
Yeah.
Does a hotel have to be better than what you have at home?
No.
For me, I do. I have to, because it's an escape from my reality.
So here's what I would do, Andrew. I would make sure that my home
Was really
sucks.
shitty.
yeah, really
So
shitty house.
vacation would be really amazing. That would be
No,
that would be great. like well. Oh wait a minute, you got the present a few weeks ago. Like your bedroom just upped now, didn't it?
Listen,
Yeah.
you've seen our bedroom.
Yeah,
It's
who would
hard
wanna
to
leave our
find-
bedroom?
It's hard to find a motel room that's better than that.
Sure, but here's the thing. Like we when we go away, it's a big problem. Jessica could go anywhere. Doesn't matter. She can sleep on the floor as long as she has a beach. She's fine. I need the hotel room and the bedding to be perfect. The bedding is very important to me.
950
And I don't understand.
count sheets.
It's not
and-
even about the sheet count. You know what you got to do
Did you
now?
have you ever been to the hotels with the pillow menu?
I have seen the pillow menu. Yeah,
Yeah. I've been to a couple
Wyndham
with the
hotels do that actually.
Yeah.
Wyndham's,
that's nice.
Hampton Inns do too.
But
Hampton
we-
Inns straight out have the best pillows.
But last time we went,
Yes,
we
they
stayed
do.
at when we went to Aruba. We stayed in a very nice Marriott resort. It was 4-star resort. Everything was there. It was great. We're looking to go on vacation in February, and Jessica
so
found.
are we.
Are you? Jessica found her friend is going to the Dominican
Let's
Republic.
miss another week.
Let's miss 2 weeks that week. Jessica found a place in Dominican Republic that she wants to go to because her friend's going. So the area is beautiful, but I was not impressed with the hotel and the bedding.
How can
Not
you
impressed.
tell though?
From
just
pictures.
looking at
From
it,
pictures.
can't always tell.
Yes, you can. You can.
Andrew can tell.
It's a very easy fix. You know what you do? You do white, and you have a contrast of one runner, like the runners at the end,
Uh huh.
like the blanket. You put that and you make that a solid color. We don't need these tropical colors anymore. We don't need that. Very standard, very plain.
I don't really care what the colors are. I just want it to be. I want the bed to be comfortable. That's really.
Oh, do you sleep with sheets tucked in?
Everything.
Or
I
everything
sleep
pulled
like
out?
a vampire.
Like tucked in.
I'm like this. Not a nothing. It's just perfect. It's flat. Everything. Jessica, on the other hand, a tornado.
Yeah, it's me.
Same.
I want another bed.
Andrew.
I want a separate bed.
All you are is a dull echo of us. I just want you to know that.
I want.
She's the same way. She just gets like the bed is all neatly made, and she just gets up and goes, "Voop," and just pulls everything out.
I do.
Well, I actually get Jess out at 3 a.m. out of the bed so I could remake it.
Oh my God.
That was the joke that they used to make about your mom.
I know.
My father-in-law said he would get up in the middle of the night and he'd come back and the bed would be made.
That's what I do. That's actually what I do.
I can't sleep like that. I can't sleep confined.
I used to sleep.
Get over it.
I used to sleep like I was in an envelope.
I used to pull everything out.
Flip up the thing, slide yourself in.
You know how sick it is? I come and I sleep on the couch every night around like 4 o'clock because I can't handle what happens to the bed.
He does get up sometimes too. Or sometimes he gets up to go to the bathroom and he's up for a few minutes and
she lays diagonally across the bed and then falls deeply asleep.
Oh
I
my
do.
God.
And you know what you don't
I
do?
sleep sideways,
If Joanna gets to sleep, you don't disturb that. So I end up on the couch in the office because I don't want to fold out the whole.
So
why
would you have slept over on Christmas Eve? Because it's far, the travel.
Well, it's just we're going back to the exact same place on Staten Island.
We're going back to the exact same place, and we left.
No,
this year was kind of early, but we left at like 1 in the morning.
Yeah,
and then went home, went to sleep, and was back in Staten Island.
It's a good thing we didn't sleep over though, because he had a horrible, horrible migraine yesterday.
Oh yeah, and the thing you want to do is not you want to travel twice when you have a migraine.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Would you have rather slept in someone else's house?
No. Well, I kind of did.
Well, yeah, we got there and
so Christmas Day, I wake up and I can't see, and she's gonna go see her family, and I know that if I say I'm so bad that I can't drive, she would stay with me. She would not go off to Staten Island by herself. So I'm like, I look like Quasimodo. My eyes are bulging, and I went, no, I'll drive you there.
Why? What was wrong? Like allergies?
No, migraine.
Just horrible migraine.
Just a horrible migraine. I get her there, and I fall asleep. I walk in, I went, I don't feel good. I'm going to lay down, like to the crowd. And I went upstairs, and I fell asleep for like 3 hours.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And what time did it end for you on Christmas?
Last night?
Yeah.
11:30.
Yeah, 11:30ish.
See, we did. We went to her aunt's. We went to Jessica's aunt's house at around 2 o'clock, and then around 7 we left to go to my family's house.
Okay.
And my family was already deep into the party. I'm gonna show you a little video.
Where was where was your family?
In Manhasset.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna pull it up on the screen because it's on my phone. And I didn't get permission from everybody, but I believe this is the video. Hold on. This is Christmas at my family's house.
I can't see from here.
That's my lawyer, by the way.
That's your lawyer.
That's my lawyer dancing.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you dancing to?
Oh, I don't even know what music that is. Something very foreign.
Something very foreign.
Yeah. But that's my lawyer, and my lawyer.
That's the thing with us in New York. It's such like the UN.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing your lawyer like out of control.
Yeah, she was going there.
Yeah.
She's hot.
The lawyer.
No,
the female?
the guy is my lawyer.
Oh, I thought it was the girl.
No, the girl is actually my cousin's fiance. They just got engaged.
Yeah. She's very attractive.
Yeah, they just got engaged. So it's a very interesting dynamic over there. So we stayed till around 10 o'clock, and then we left.
So what'd you eat? Is there?
I didn't eat over there. Jessica's aunt does like a whole roast.
Yeah.
Like,
is that the tradition? It's always.
Well,
the
it's like a
roast?
15-course meal at her
There you
aunt's.
go.
Are
But
they Italian?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was like everything.
Yeah.
I sat at the head of the table.
Oh.
I actually going to end up not gaining a lot of weight because I didn't eat a ton of stuff. I ate
because you were sick.
Because I was sick. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I didn't have too much to eat this year either.
I ate some crap.
And I was back at boot camp today.
Yeah. So you probably burnt everything off.
I was nursing. I was nursing a migraine today.
For Christmas, I got Jess an elliptical.
Oh, really?
She wanted an elliptical, so I got her one.
Where are you going to put it?
It's in the bedroom.
You should have bought her a year of boot camp is what you should have bought.
I should buy her a year of boot camp.
That's
I can get you a price.
Can you?
Yeah, I can.
I got the hookup.
There you go.
She runs a lot. I mean, she's running all the time now.
That's what you were saying.
And she's
But she should cross train. She should
yeah.
cross train. You really should.
And she's been doing. I mean, she's really doing it now.
Really?
So when the snow comes, she's not going to be able to go, and I really don't want her running around in the ice.
Yeah.
So this
That's
actually
true.
it becomes a bicycle and an elliptical.
Oh, that's cool.
I
Yeah,
have a recumbent bike if she ever wants to like borrow it.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah, that's really good because that
I think
simulates the
what
hills
her
and
whole
everything.
family's getting into biking now, so I think
Yeah.
that's the next thing she's going to get probably for the spring.
Her family's getting into biking?
Her mom actually has lost like an unbelievable amount of weight.
Oh, good on
Really?
her.
Like she looks unbelievable.
Really?
Like I don't want to
Cool for
say
her.
I can't even like if I say 60 pounds, I may be under.
Wow.
And she's
Wow.
doing Weight Watchers and she's working out and
What got them all? Did something click?
no, she just wanted to do it.
Sometimes if you just get started and you see
Yeah.
the right results,
You see
it
the-
snowballs. It really does.
And that's the thing, but that's the biggest problem with weight loss because there are a lot of people. If you're a little heavy, you'll see instant results,
Right.
And then, like Coco. Coco lost a lot of weight really
And then
quick.
it
He's like,
slows down.
yeah, Coco was huge.
Yeah.
And he lost a lot of weight really fast. And I told him when he had just started at the network, and I pulled him aside and I said, if I was you, I would go see a therapist. And he says, why? I'm like, because you are not ready to be at this weight. Because I used to train people, so I know what it's like. I mean, don't look at me now. I used to be 200 pounds and all muscle. It was a fun time for me. A lot of steroids, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah. But he lost a lot of weight really fast, and I don't think he was mentally ready. And I think he felt that, and this is weird, like a weird psychology, like I don't deserve to be at this weight because I lost it way too fast, and he's put on a lot of weight. He's going back up, and I keep telling him, but it's a very sensitive subject with him.
Of course.
And that's the part that he doesn't know how to deal with.
Of course.
I think that's the biggest problem with him.
Well, also, people lose weight quickly. A lot of times when people lose weight really quickly, they're doing it in some drastic way. And you can't continue to live like that. So then what happens is they go right back to their old eating habits instead and you put it back on again. Instead of losing it like sort of regular, in a slow, regular fashion where you really re-educate your whole eating system.
Well, my whole thing has always been, it doesn't matter how much you eat. It's about how much you're burning off. If you can't burn off what you eat, then you should not eat at that thing. But there are people, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Coco was having 7,000 calories a day. Like, I would not be surprised at his heaviest. Yeah. Because I could do 3,000 calories like this. I put on maybe 7 pounds from last year, but I lost a lot of weight from last year. I was about 192 pounds.
Yeah, you got up
and
there.
I went down to about 163.
We both got heavy and we both thinned out.
Yeah, but you know what I did? I just didn't intake, 5,000 calories a day. I was doing about 4,500 to 5,000 calories a day,
which is easy to do.
which is very easy. Like you think that's a lot. It is a lot.
Yeah.
But I went from that to about 1,200 to 1,400
Right.
calories a day, and immediately I lost the weight.
Right.
Because I'm not putting all that food in. So there are a lot of people that say, well, I don't have a high metabolism, so I can't burn it. No, you're just putting in a lot of calories.
People have different metabolisms, and it's also
Sure.
true that as you get older, your metabolism will slow down.
Yeah,
Everyone's
absolutely.
does. That everyone's does, which sucks, but everyone's does. But if that, which is why when you're young, you can drastically cut your calories and you can lose weight really fast. But that doesn't help you to learn how to eat properly.
Yeah. See, Jess has lost about 12 pounds.
Yeah, she's
12 or 13 pounds. She's lost a lot
and
of
they're
weight.
a critical 13 because she looks amazing.
Yeah,
she looks great.
And I think she wants to lose like another 10.
Because she wasn't fat to begin with, though. So that
So she lost a lot of weight, but her thing is she always goes up and down. Always. That's because she starves herself, loses the weight within 2 weeks,
Yeah.
And then she bounces back up. Like, she could go up and down. And I've always told her, like, if you work out just a little bit,
that's really bad.
You can maintain it.
That's really bad.
Oh, I've gone through all of it. This cabbage soup diets, the green drink, the red drink diets. Were that all for like a month? She'll have red drink and green drink. That's it. God. That's all she'll have.
See, and the thing is, when you're young, you can kind of get away with that. When you get older, it doesn't work anymore. And what happens is the more you do it, the more you screw up your metabolism.
Yeah. Well, I've always asked her, I'm like, and I'll ask you too, and anybody in the chat room that's watching, it takes a lot of dedication
it does.
for 28 days to just drink that liquid. Mm-hmm. I guess greens are the vegetables and the reds are the fruits. And that's all you're having for 28 days. Nothing else. Oh, and you're having it all day and all night. That's a lot of dedication.
It is.
And that's a lot of, you got to be strong-willed to do that. Mm-hmm. If you're that dedicated and strong-willed, why can't you, for 30 minutes, do some sort of exercise?
Right.
And eat. And have something.
Because people just hate the idea of exercise.
I think people hate the idea of exercising, and I think everybody likes shortcuts. It's with everything, right?
Right.
How do you cheat this? How do you cheat that? It would take you less time to do it the right way than
you
it
don't
would.
have to tell me I'm a teacher. I watch kids work an entire weekend to cheat on a test.
Yeah.
Doing the most amazing crib sheets, and I'm thinking you could have just.
Well, I found the best way that kids are cheating now. By the way, my brother got his SAT scores. He didn't cheat, but it reminded me. He doubled his score from the original.
Really?
Wow.
Had he taken the review class?
That almost
no
never
review
happens.
class. He got a 1380. He doubled. He did awful the first time.
That almost never happens.
Yeah.
Usually you end up scoring pretty much the same.
He got like a stupid kid score.
Really?
Yeah. The first time he just went in, he's like, oh, it was so easy. And I think he didn't realize like you could leave questions out. And I think he answered everything. Like even if he didn't know, he answered it.
Oh, and it's one of those tests that are you supposed to guess or not guess on those tests?
I think if you don't know, you leave it out because the national average is done by how many answers are scored correctly, not incorrectly.
Okay.
I think something like that, or it's scored by how many answers you get wrong and not right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you leave it out and somebody else left it out, it doesn't count. So that question is omitted. And
I
then
know
they've
changed the test.
They added a
deal.
writing score. That's all they did is add writing.
There's another component. Another 800-point component.
Yeah. So I got on mine. I think I got an 1180, and Jessica got like a 1210. Mm-hmm. So if there was a writing involved, and I don't know how many points that is, so I maybe would have gotten like a 17 or 1800. I don't know. I can't remember because it's out of 2400.
Oh, so they just add the writing.
They add the score.
Yeah,
I think that's how it works. I think the writing is worth 700 points.
And it's just added to the traditional test score.
Yeah.
Okay.
But colleges don't look at the writing, so it's useless.
So why do they do it?
They're still looking at the math and the.
So why do they do it? That makes no sense.
No idea. Just to make everybody's life harder. Honestly.
That really makes no sense.
Yeah, it makes
at
no
all.
sense at all. So he took the SATs and he did really good.
Oh,
so now
great.
we're looking at like real colleges.
Oh, that's great.
Not like Brooklyn Community,
Yeah, that's really great.
So he reminded me, but a way that kids are cheating now, and it was a big scandal. The new iPods, the minis, the little ones are like this big, and they turn into a wristwatch. There's a way to get take a screenshot and load it up on this because it becomes it's a watch. You could load up the answers and just press the button and look at the answer while you're writing it.
I'm surprised they're not making you empty your pockets and
well,
strip
it's a
your
watch.
Wrists. No, I'm surprised they're not making you strip your wrists and stuff.
Yeah, they haven't come up to it yet, but they're just figuring out. So I'm sure they're gonna be like, "Hey, is that an iPod?"
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of work and dedication.
I think they
to
should just personally interview everyone. You can tell if someone's stupid.
I cheated on my Spanish proficiency. I literally grabbed the test sheet off of the girl next to me and I just copied her answers.
And you didn't get caught?
Got a 98.
So
there was a teacher in the room, by the way, Lon, which you know. And they saw me do it.
And they didn't say
anything?
anything?
And they turned the other way.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to tell me afterwards.
Yeah. You know what? I'll tell you right now.
I would not have turned the other way.
Mics are on.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, because she owed you, kind of.
Yeah.
Did she? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh?
Mm.
I got to get the story.
Oh, it's such a story there.
Okay, I got to get the story after.
It's like one of those scandal stories.
Ooh,
like teacher scandal stories.
good.
Yeah. So that's what I did, but I don't think you can get away with that nowadays.
No.
Like we didn't have smartphones. Like I'm thinking it's weird to say this because I'm so involved in this, and it doesn't feel like long ago. Like 10 years, there was still a lot of technology, but you have to remember there was nobody was text messaging in the U.S. It was a big European thing, and nobody texted.
No.
There were no cameras on the phones.
No.
There was no YouTube.
No.
There was high-speed internet, but many people still did not have it.
I remember when they started taking phones from people going into strip clubs because they had the first cameras and they didn't want any cameras.
Yeah.
Now you
That's
just can't stop.
yeah.
It's like
Nobody really like. There were rules. I remember when there was a no pager rule.
yeah.
Like, and then the new no cell phone rule came in, but I cannot imagine how they would be able to regulate that. How can they tell you like no cell phones? Everybody has a cell phone. A school cannot, theoretically, I know they could say it, but there's no way a school could turn around and say you are not allowed to bring in a cell phone into this building.
Well,
It doesn't work. There's no way of doing it. There's no way of doing it.
there are schools that still do it.
I mean,
There
first of
are
all, I
schools
think
that
I think it's a necessity.
See,
I
I
think it's
think-
extremely important
right.
for a kid to have a cell phone nowadays.
Right. At this
Very
point, I
important.
think
You don't
all
need it in
exams,
school,
all
though.
exams should be oral.
You don't
because
need it in
if I ask
school.
you the question, you can't look, you can't cheat. You've got to know. I think.
No. I think you need it in school. How about when you're coming home from school? What are you going to do? Leave it somewhere?
You can leave it in a locker.
What school has a locker?
Okay, they're eliminating
Well,
lockers because they're
No
eliminating textbooks.
Yeah, no
There are
lockers.
schools. There's a school being designed now that has no lockers.
I had an incident happen where I had a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't on my cell phone, but I had it in my pocket, and it was like out like a clip.
Mm-hmm.
And the assistant principal came and grabbed it like off my waist, and I grabbed her hand, and I said, "You're not taking my phone."
Yeah, someone just said to me in chat that a lot of places in the country cell phones are allowed, but they have to be turned off.
Yeah, then that's fine. That's fine. Put it on silent. Anything could happen. Listen, after 9/11, we know anything could happen. A lot of people rely on communication, and that's my defense for it. So the assistant principal grabs my phone, and I say, "You can't have it." And she goes, "You just put your hands on me." I'm like, "You just nearly grabbed my crotch," because my phone was like on my waist. I'm like, so she's like, "We're gonna call your mother," and my mother came in, tore her apart, destroyed her. And we actually contacted a lawyer, and the lawyer contacted the school. It was a whole thing. Because that's technically illegal that they say, like, the teacher takes something from you. Mm-hmm. It's not mine. It's not my phone. It's my mother's phone or my father's phone. So you're actually taking something that belongs to them. That was actually deemed illegal. You cannot take someone else's thing.
Sure about
There
that.
was a whole thing on the island. And they actually sued the school board, and they won.
See, I think
because
that's,
their rule
I'm sorry,
was that
I
if
think
it
that's
gets
wrong.
well,
I really do.
Well, their rule was if it gets taken away, you're not getting it back to the end of the year. Even if your parent asks for it, you cannot get it back.
And I agree with that because
think so? Why?
Yes, because if that's the rule, your parent should not be giving you a cell phone.
No,
to take
absolutely
to school.
not. Absolutely not. Every kid needs a cell phone to go to school.
No, they don't.
So every kid is walking now. You tell
there
me
should be a place that they're kept during the school day.
Yeah, but then the school is liable if it goes missing.
That's true.
Do you think the school board wants to take that responsibility?
No, but there should be a place where they are locked in the morning.
No, that's fine. But
and
let the school
given
come
back-
up with it.
and given back at the end of the day.
But that's the school's job to do that.
Yes.
I don't think it's responsible for the school to say, well, if you have a cell phone and we catch you with a cell phone, we're taking it. You're not getting it back to the end of the year, and your parent cannot get it back if they come in and get it.
Look, if that's
So
the
ridiculous.
school rule and you break the rule, then you're wrong, and your parent's wrong.
No.
Yes.
I don't think so, Joe. I think it's a
Yes.
very backwards way of thinking.
I don't think so.
I'll give you an example. Kids walk all the time.
Which is why
Mm-hmm.
they should be allowed to have the cell phone to and from school, and leave it in your locker.
Check it like the guns, the old
But if
saloons.
the
Yeah.
school is not giving you a locker or any place to put it, what are you supposed to do? And the rule.
Do we know that was true?
Yeah. There was no, and that's why they won, because they did this to multiple people. They would just take the cell phone, and then if the parent came in to say, okay, I want my cell phone, they would say no. So finally, one of the kids' fathers was a lawyer and said, okay, I'm suing the school board because this is my possession. You cannot take something of mine and not give it back
But
to
this
me.
is,
We're in a different time, though, Joe. You know,
yes,
it's totally
I know,
different.
but that's part of the problem with the educational system now. The parents are always running up to the school complaining about how you weren't fair to little Bobby. And
the system's not about Bobby.
Schools they don't have a leg to stand on half the time, and that's the problem.
No, but in this case, I don't think it's a school's job to tell you you cannot have a cell phone. I don't think that the school, it's a different time, a different place. Why don't we? How about this? Let's get rid of calculators.
I agree with that.
Let's get rid of calculators. Let's get rid of any electronic textbook. Let's get rid of all electronics. Let's put a candle in the room.
That's ridiculous.
Because you know why? The fluorescent lights buzz, and that's a distraction to the kids. Let's put a candle.
Can't read by candlelight. Well,
I think here's the thing. I think there's multiple.
Well, they're going to get rid
here.
of fluorescence anyway because LEDs coming in.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think there are people that don't know anything about technology writing rules. And it's not easy. It's not that easy to say, well, your kid shouldn't have a cell phone in school. There are a lot of kids that walk home. A lot of kids are by themselves. God forbid a kid goes missing or something happens and the kid has no way of communicating to the parent. We need this now. We need communication amongst people.
I'm sorry. 90% of the time, the kid has the cell phone in school and is using it to sit there and play games and text.
Well, if that's the problem, then you inform the parents and you make it a big issue.
Okay.
And if they catch you 3 times or whatever, but those are different rules. You know, you
should
could punish.
but then-
Absolutely.
If you have to
and then-
carry a cell phone,
And then there's a whole
to
other
and from
thing
school,
that
you should have to give it. So you give it to the teacher when you walk into class, or put it on the teacher's desk. You cannot have it when you are sitting in the classroom because it is a huge problem. Kids sit there, are friends who teach college, and kids are sitting there in frickin' college all, while they're supposed to be listening to lecture, sitting, texting their friends and whatever on their cell phone. That should not be allowed.
But yes, it should not be allowed, but that's the same as saying, well, it's almost as equivalent to texting each other as writing a letter to each other and passing it.
Well, that wasn't allowed either. It was easier to catch kids doing that.
So, yeah, you're right. They shouldn't be doing it. But I don't think the problem is having a cell phone. I think the problem is that the kids are not engaged and the kids are distracted by other things.
What we need is something that scrambles.
The problem is, kids have too many distractions right now as it is.
But kids are going to have distractions all the time. I mean, but here's the thing.
But
how about
now
they have
put one
laptops
in
in class.
hand?
But they have laptops in class now.
Yes.
So that kind of that's fighting each other. I mean, you're saying you can't have a cell phone, but you can have a laptop in front of you, and these kids know how to talk to each other with the laptop, and the teacher has no idea what's happening in front of the laptop because they can't see it.
This is why we have to get down to individual education.
There are laptops in public school?
In many areas, yeah.
In
New York
class?
City doesn't have it, but in the U.S., yeah, a lot
New
of
York
public
City just computerized their report cards.
Yeah, really.
It was only a couple of years. I remember I left teaching in 2004. Only in the last couple of years, 3 years, did they have computerized report cards.
New York City's really
and
big,
I
and they
had
don't
them,
have the
and I
funds.
had them in junior high school. I did.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, New York City's a different thing, but there are many counties and cities in the country that have laptops in every single class. There's school boards there's school districts that actually give them MacBooks, brand new MacBooks for every kid that goes into the school system.
Yes,
and
but
they get it.
Are they connected to the internet while they're on there?
Yeah, sure, of course they are.
Why?
Because everything they do is on the internet. When they're doing a research project, there's ways to block certain things out, of course. Mm-hmm. It's blocked internet, but there is internet.
Well,
they can block IMing and stuff like that.
They can, but the kids know how to get by it.
Well,
that's
but that's one of those things. They're going to have to put blocks on the computers.
Yeah.
So kids can't do that.
I mean, they break everything. That's the whole thing.
There's always going to be kids are always going to try and find a way around something. But you shouldn't put it in their hands.
No, but with the cell phone, I don't think the cell phone is a problem. I think the problem is a kid knowing right and wrong. We're in a different time. We're in a different society now that everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has a laptop. Everybody has an iPad. All these kids are connected 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So rather than saying, well, you're not allowed to have that, come up with a way for them not to do it. They should be punished, of course.
They should be, grade deductions, whatever. But I don't think the problem is, I'm going to take your cell phone. Now you're not getting it for an entire year. And now your parent has to pay the $40 or $70 a month for a phone that's sitting in a desk.
Okay,
Actually,
They cannot do that.
no. If the kid is caught using the cell phone in class for purposes other than classwork, you will take the phone
Yeah, and give it to the parent.
and give it.
Yeah, tell the
and
parent to come up and
I
get
just
it.
think they should. I would sit with a box at the beginning of class, collect
Yeah.
up the phones, and hand them out at the end of class.
That's-
Yeah, I
Exactly.
know, but then you know what'll happen? They'll give the wrong phone to the wrong person, and that's another lawsuit. You can't memorize everybody's phone, and how do you know, John
Well-
is going to come and be like, oh, that's my phone.
Yeah, but kids basically want their own phone because they've got their own stuff in it.
Not if you got a better phone than me, and I got some junky phone.
Nobody has a junky phone anymore.
Oh,
All
come
the
on.
phones are pretty much the same.
No.
Yeah, they are. And you have all your friends' numbers in it and everything. You really don't want somebody else's
If
phone.
I have a phone that's 3 years old and you have a brand new iPhone and I see it in a box, you know what? It's going to cross my mind. I could just say that's my phone and grab it.
Oh.
That's the problem. But I think in this case, I think it was the school rule was extremely it's an extreme rule, which makes no sense, where you're going to take something and punish the parent
Oh, no.
for them to pay
Wait a minute. I agree with that.
$700 a month.
But no. You get caught. Kid gets caught fooling around with his cell phone in class. First time we take it from you for the day, and the parent has to come up and get it.
I think that
But you get caught. Let's say give it 3 times. Gone for the year, and let your parents have to pay for it, because you know what? When you hit the parents in the pocket, that's when all of a sudden they become concerned about what little Johnny does.
If I take something of yours and you still have to pay for it, I'll give you an example.
Do you
I
hire
take
Bill-
away your gym membership, but you have to pay for your gym membership. But legally, they cannot do that. That's
yes,
the problem.
they can. They can.
Legally, they can take something of yours that you're paying monthly for that does not belong to the kid.
If it's a rule that is stated,
A rule-
and the
a rule is not a law.
is broken, doesn't matter. When you send your child to a school, you are agreeing to abide by the rules of that school.
You generally sign a contract.
You
at the
sign a
beginning-
contract
at the beginning of the year.
at
that
the
you
beginning
abide
of
by.
the year that these are the rules of the school.
and that if you don't abide by those rules, certain
This is what the
cer-
punishment will be.
How about all the teachers that are texting? Teachers text and call all the time with their phones while there's a class happening, while they're on break.
While they're on break, that's no problem.
But they're in a classroom.
But if you're like
Well,
sitting
if
in,
they're on
A kid doesn't know that. That's going to be their defense. Well, I walk by Mrs. Blaze's classroom and she's on a cell phone.
not while
I don't
Not
think
while
kids
she's
understand
supposed
that.
to be
See, here's the thing.
teaching.
I don't think they should take the phone. I think there should be suspensions. I think there should be in school punishments. I think there should be grade deductions. I think there should be failures. That way, you're fighting. You're doing a whole school thing.
You hit parents in the pocket, it will have greater effect than anything else,
You
because
know how many
then
kids
the kid's going to go home and the parent's going to make them miserable because they cost them money. Which is what you want, because otherwise half these parents don't care.
No, they don't care.
They
And
don't
I
care.
don't even think they know that the kid has a cell phone 90% of the
That's
time.
exactly my
that's
point. That's exactly my point. So you have to go after the parents, because then they'll get pissed off at the kid.
Yeah, listen, I don't think there's a right answer for any of this. We're having this discussion, but I don't think any of it will work.
And teachers aren't supposed to be sitting there playing with their phones
they
if
are.
they're teaching.
They are.
but they shouldn't be.
But they
there should
shouldn't be.
Nice. Yeah, they shouldn't be. But
Just
they are.
because things are doesn't mean that they should remain that way or be tolerated.
No, and again, I think the way that the school system sees cell phones, I mean, in New York City, there's still a rule saying there are no cell phones in the school. That rule exists.
Mm-hmm.
It has not been. I'm talking about kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. That rule has not been. I guess last how many years since I was in school, I've never seen anybody's cell phone get taken away. So was this woman, the school, this assistant principal, saw it on me and just wanted to take it, just to be an ass. I was never on my phone. It was off. It wasn't even on. I just had it on me, and I made a whole big fuss, and I got it back, and she never did it again. But the point was everybody now, it's so different the way we communicate and we are. Everybody now has these electronic devices. How do you combat that? I mean, do you think with the cheating situations, how would a teacher know what devices for cheating? We used to be able to cheat with the electronic calculators, with the scientific calculators.
Because you could store memory.
We could store memory, so we used to store all the answers in there, and we used to just pass off the calculators to each other from the class. How would they know? They had no clue. Because they would tell us to use it.
Oh, I see. So you could store.
Yeah. On the scientific calculators, you could store.
Oh. I never had one.
Yeah, and it was mandatory, and they sell it in the store, and then we used to just in schools, and we should just store the answers and just hand it off. It's just how it was. You're always going to have the kids that are going to cheat.
Yeah,
they're going to abuse
always
it.
Going to cheat. People are always going to cheat. People are always going to try to abuse the system, but there has to be. I mean, you have to attempt at least to monitor it, because there's way too many distractions for the kids. It's becoming impossible for a teacher to keep their attention.
I think you know what it is. In reality, I think it's what's being taught that's wrong. I think a lot of these kids. I'm not saying I don't think every kid needs to be in calculus. I think, and we've spoken about this a couple times. I think there needs to be specialty programs for a lot of people that don't want to go into that. Mm-hmm. I think they still learn the basics, and they continue their math, and they continue their English, and they continue this. But I don't think every kid is destined to be a lawyer and a doctor.
No, but we've made it a system by which
Very
kids
honestly,
have to go to college.
Kids have to.
Even lawyers don't use calculus.
No, they don't. But
You know.
But here's the thing, though. If you're a kid, let's say a high school kid, everybody's learning the same thing. You're on the same path, really. I mean, there's some advanced classes, but for the most part, everybody learns the same thing. But we're not wired the same way. None of us are wired the same way. So how can you say this one system is going to work for everybody?
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
And I think we should bring specialty classes back.
Right. There's no shop anymore. There's no. Well, vocational schools have become a
dirty word.
A dirty word.
Well, I was watching this great interview, and it was the most ridiculous argument. So it was, I guess it's some organization that wants this put in place in school systems where you're given an option at a certain age to show interest in different things. Mm-hmm. And if you decide that this is what you like, and you'll have like a semester to try all of them. And if this is what you want to do, you continue on this path. Mm-hmm. And that's what you go to school for, and then they'll work with specialty schools, and then you'll get certified and whatever. Mm-hmm. So they'll have, like electrical engineering and mechanics and whatever. And there was another group, this woman was against it, and she said, well, I don't think it's responsible for us to set a path for our kids at an early age. What if they turn around and say, I don't want to be a plumber? When they're like 20. So they went to school for this to be a plumber. Mm-hmm. And now it was a big waste, and they have nothing else to fall back on.
Learning anything is not a waste.
And the woman goes, but that's what's happening now.
Right.
And she goes, well, I don't think it's fair. She goes, well, how about this? I don't think it's fair that a kid should be learning math. They're never going to use math, so why are we teaching a kid math? How about reading? How about writing? Why teach them anything if they're not going to do it later on?
I do not understand why.
What a ridiculous argument.
Every student has to learn.
If you're going to vote, you got to read
algebra. What the hell do I need to know about a sine, a cosine, a tangent? What do I need to know that for?
No, and by the way, they're throwing it out. They're slowly phasing that out.
I mean,
it should be there for kids who can handle it.
And who want it, and who want to go into who have that kind of mentality.
Someone should be teaching someone how to balance a checkbook.
Hello, or how the economic system works.
How a credit card works.
Well, can I tell you how many people I know that don't know how to write, like how to write a letter, like address a letter?
I know.
They don't know when to use commas, periods. You know how many people don't know your and your?
I know.
I get a lot of emails. I mean, I correspond with a lot of people that are making a lot of money in whatever they're doing.
Because what's happened is
that
the spoken language, the
is now
what you heard, what you hear is what you write, no matter what form it takes.
Yeah, and that's a big problem. I think rather than that, and this is the thing. We need to, and in my opinion, I think there are things that you learn in 7th grade, right? I'll give you an example. And let's say you missed a couple days of English.
Mm-hmm.
Those 3 days. And let's say those were the 3 days where it was a really crucial 3 days with like writing.
Mm-hmm. Or
let's go back early. I'll give you an example. I got sick in 3rd grade. I was out of school for a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I never learned cursive. I could do it, but I missed an entire week and a half of learning cursive. And the classes are like this because they're trying to fit as much as possible. They never went back to it.
Really?
Yeah.
We never went back. It was like everybody learned, and that was it. And of course, you write in cursive, but I never learned like I think it was like the letters and certain words and the connections. I had to do it by myself, and I had to learn it, and it was a struggle for me 4th and 5th grade to do cursive.
Didn't they have
And in
workbooks where you had to like
Yeah.
copy the letters?
Yeah, but I'm out of school, so I never got a chance to do it. That was the thing. I never
to me,
did
I spent
it.
a long time learning cursive.
Me
Like,
too.
And
Like-
then you know what
like
happens?
3rd grade. I think 3rd grade was
Yeah,
cursive.
yeah.
3rd grade was the pen
3rd grade.
year and the cursive year.
Yeah, and guess
You
what
got
happens?
the pen.
You
Yes.
go to 6th grade, and they go, "No, I don't want you writing in cursive. What are you, crazy? Nobody wants to sit and read cursive."
Well, because everyone's cursive used to look similar.
Yeah, not anymore.
Not
Yeah.
anymore.
Well, because the good old nuns, you used to get a grade in penmanship.
Yeah.
You would get a grade in penmanship.
I know calligraphy. I took calligraphy. I could write in calligraphy. I
That's
can't write in cursive.
That's kind of cool.
Is that nutty?
Well, more people use their computers for stuff anyway.
Yeah, like
and
when I
type
write,
stuff,
certain words, like when I write, I'm writing, freehand. My A is calligraphy, and my F is cursive. My N is cursive.
So your writing looks like a terrorist now.
Yeah, it looks like a ransom letter.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's I mean, like, I don't understand why we're not teaching kids how to balance a checkbook. Why we're not teach kids how banking works.
Well, I think there should be, and this is what I think. Every
how
year in school,
mortgages work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a credit card.
A credit card, yeah.
People, so many fewer people would get in trouble if they knew that when they bought.
well, we have to institute this idea that you cannot buy without having the money.
Well, yeah.
I think that should
But
be
no one
instituted.
wants that.
No,
It would
nobody
also
banks
be
don't want
nice
that.
if we would teach kids, like, I don't know, what they used to call civics, like how the government works.
Yeah, there used to be a
Because
course called
they
civics.
don't know.
It wasn't geography. It wasn't history. It was how
It was
the government.
how the government works. You should know how your government works before you are able to go vote.
Yeah, well, nobody knows that.
I
Why would
know.
you? But Joe, come on.
What do
How dare you tell me I need to be educated before voting?
Voting is my right. I don't have
Yeah,
to know
voting is
about
a
it.
right.
If I were emperor, I would make people have to take a test before they could
I've
vote.
said that 1,000 times.
I would.
Everybody needs to have some sort of
You should have a
understanding.
working knowledge
Yeah.
of the way
How
the
things
government
work.
works
Yeah.
in order to vote. I don't think that's a big deal.
I had a teacher in high school, and he was a government teacher, and actually he said something really interesting once. He said, every year that you're in school, there needs to be a recap of 2 weeks of everything you learned the previous year. And every year you
It's
add on
true.
a little more. I mean, of course, you take the basics out as you go along.
No, that's
but
true.
Every year, like in English class,
'Cause you
should be
forget
learned.
stuff.
The
you
7
should-
parts of speech.
You
you should be
forget
taught. You should be taught when to use a comma, when to use a quote. Like people don't know quotes.
No.
Like they'll go, when people like, and he went to the mall. Why are you quoting mall?
Right.
and like I could understand like doing this in like, okay, it's like it's not really the mall, like double entendres. You could do
Right,
that too.
right.
But when people write me stuff, they'll write and
Today I went to
and he said
the store.
No, and I'll get an email saying and we grossed $5.2 million. Like you're quoting it, but you don't need to quote
that.
I mean, I understand. And then like they don't know double and single.
Right.
Like they don't know sourcing. Like that's another thing like people don't know.
Right.
Like they don't know quoting something somebody else said or if I said it. Like,
Right.
It's
Gee,
weird.
Andrew, where'd you learn that?
Where'd I
stuff?
learn all that? But we should be. But
And?
you know what? I'll
Come on,
tell you,
Andrew.
Lon,
I need credits.
I'll tell you. No, of course. And Lon taught a lot in this class. It was actually one of the only English classes that I took where
I
wasn't.
taught gerunds.
Yeah.
I taught gerunds.
It was actually one of the only English classes that I took where it wasn't open a book and read this and then write a summary on it. Because that's all English class is. Nobody teaches you how to write. You should know this. But when I started doing, what I'm doing, I had a very difficult time sending out emails.
Right.
And I've just become really comfortable over the last couple of years because I have not done it in 10 years.
No, and
I
it's
haven't
true.
written
You
anything.
do. You forget. You just do.
And then now I'm noticing how bad people
Hey,
are.
Honey, that was hot.
Are you okay?
I'm getting over being sick.
Did you just spit up? Oh, that's really attractive, actually. It's really good. It's really hot. That's what I like.
She's so classy.
Yeah, she's a classy broad, this one. From Astoria. By the toilet.
We need a spittoon
Yep.
next week.
We'll go another 10 minutes because this is interesting to the viewers. They're finding this fascinating. I'm getting a lot of messages. But
Oh, good.
I'm amazed at how people either, you know what it is, and I think we become a society where you don't really need to, like, there are different rules now when you're communicating online. If you're talking on IM, nothing needs to be grammatically correct.
Right.
If you're sending a certain type of email, it doesn't really matter.
If you're texting or if you're just shooting an email to a friend.
But what happens is, and I've noticed this, when you send out that first email, it's very, hello, I'm so-and-so, and this is blah, 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 and this is what I'm doing. It's very professional.
Right.
And depending on how the person responds, it switches. And you either continue or you don't bother. But I've noticed 90% of the time, people just don't bother after that first email. And it becomes, a couple of words and
That's
everything is
true.
incorrect.
That's true.
But that's what we've become.
And it's getting really bad because I've gotten to the point now where, like, I'll go on. There are several websites that I belong to where they send out cast calls to actors and stuff, and they publish them. The cast calls are all like miswritten half the time.
Yeah,
There's grammatical errors, there's spelling errors. There was a time when you would never ever publish anything publicly that had an error.
Sure.
Now no one cares. It's
interesting though. I mean, but I don't think people know. I don't think they understand. I don't think
No,
people
'cause
really know.
they haven't really been
like,
raised
I'm
that
not the
way.
best writer. I'm not, but I think I
He
know
isn't,
the standards.
trust me.
I don't know. I'm not the best writer, and people know that, and I make it very clear. But my problem is I'm so busy, I don't have the time, so I'll just write something like, here, just fix it for me. I have like editors almost.
Well, a lot of writers do.
Yeah, like Suncast is an editor of mine because I'll be like,
That's-
okay, blah
that
blah
is
blah blah blah,
true.
just put it up. Or John actually, that does a comic book show. He's a great writer. He edits a lot of my stuff now for the website because we're revamping the website, so he'll edit it. But if I take the time, like I just wrote my bio, if I take the time and I really do it for like a week
Well,
and I
that's
take a
half
look,
the
I
thing.
can get it done well.
Everything
It's
moves
pretty
so
coherent.
quickly now,
Yeah.
and there's the expectation of answers being returned.
Immediately.
Yeah, we used to get a letter. Your secretary, you'd dictate it to your secretary. Your secretary would have a great deal of knowledge of grammar. She would fix it along the way, give it back to him. He would say, that doesn't sound like me, change this, that, and the other. Correction would be made. It would, in essence, be written for
But I think this goes
times.
back to, but Lon, I think this goes back to certain things missing that you miss in school,
No,
and
I'm
it's later
saying-
haunting
And
you.
this is with
That's
this is
true.
with two people who got an education.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. And there's a lot of basic stuff that they're not teaching kids and stuff that people need to know because they're teaching I'm sorry. Look, this may come partly because I'm math phobic. I hate the whole thing and I sucked at it. But I never ever 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 in my life yet have had to know how to use a sine, a cosine, a tangent.
No, I don't think anybody does.
Or I mean,
tangents are gone now, right? We don't use it anymore.
we don't.
They took it out the year after I graduated high school.
Are
No
you
more.
serious?
Yeah, because they have the way that the math is done. We rely on the calculator, and it's able to do it a different way now. They changed the
okay.
entire formula. They said it was wrong. There was a whole thing with
Remember
tangents.
having to
please.
memorize all the algorithms and
This
stuff?
was
Oh, man.
like the bane of my existence. It ruined my high school average. It ruined my scores on my SATs because I wasn't good at that kind of mathematics. And I've never used it. I don't have to use it. But I'll tell you what really would have helped if somebody would have taught me basic economics. I still don't 100% understand everything about the stock market and commodities and how the market works and how we fund our economy and what all that means. And that's important to know.
I love asking people what a hedge fund is.
I don't know what it is.
Nobody does. It's one of those things in life. You always hear it and nobody knows.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. And we should.
Yeah.
Because we sit and we think about, well, some of us think about who we're going to vote for based on our economy because we know it affects us, but we don't 100% understand really how it works. Wouldn't that be more important than some vague mathematical 2x plus 3y minus 4?
Yeah, nobody.
Or knowing all the Kardashian children.
This is a whole other issue.
Waste of space. They're just a waste of space.
Oh, please.
Those Kardashians.
So we're going to close out because we have to.
No, yeah, we have to close out.
We're not going to be here next week, so we're going to start the resolutions.
Yes.
Resolutions for next year?
Yeah.
Do you have any?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Take a lot of steroids and get jacked up.
Yeah? Okay. Well, I'm doing the boot
It's my
camp.
resolution.
I'm doing it the rough way. I'm doing it old school.
Yeah.
Okay, that's mine. I gave Joanne the only present that I gave Joanne was that I promised her that I would never talk or text on the phone in the car ever again unless I
Do you
was
do it a
stopped.
lot?
Yeah.
Oh, he was awful.
Yeah, I never
bad.
do it.
Awful.
And I've stopped. And it's been 2 days and I've really stopped.
What are you doing, Joe?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I'm
perfect.
I resolved to
all
do
my issues.
nothing.
I have resolved all my issues.
No, I think my New Year's resolution is probably to let the universe speak to me instead of trying to tell it what to do.
I don't think that's gonna work. I
Probably not.
think you need to tell it what to do. No, actually, my resolution is to be a little bit more open-minded about doing things. Like I went to the movie theater in 12 years, and I have to tell you, the first couple minutes I was in there, I really had a panic attack.
Did you really?
I felt
Well, you
really
have a long
uncomfortable.
history there.
I started sweating. I felt really itchy because I'm a germaphobe. I really
know.
am, and that's why I clean. It's just one of my weird things that I do. And I went and I was fine after about an hour into the movie.
Oh,
Got a
well, see,
little
that's
better.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So other than that, I think I'm pretty perfect. So sorry.
Why don't you come on vacation with us?
Well, I can't. I don't want to go on vacation. That's a weird thing. I hate vacations. But you know what it is? Because I feel like
you said
if
you were
I
going to
leave,
go away, though.
yeah, I don't. We're making a different trip. We're going somewhere else, and it has to be short. It has to be 3 days. I can't do like a 10-day thing. It has to be much shorter. I don't know. Lon, any plugs?
Yeah. If you're in the Bayside area, we've got the boot camp open, and if your New Year's resolution is to look a little better, all good. You know where to find me. I'm on Facebook, so I can give you all kinds of information. Also, you can go to the website for the place. It's called www.baysidefatloss.com. Also, if you need a tax-deductible donation before the year ends out, you could go to AIDSLifecycle.org. I am registered for the California ride for June, and you can get your donation in before the end of the year.
Very nice. We'll see you all in 2 weeks. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year,
Happy
everybody.
New Year,
I'm just
everyone.
saying, good night, everybody.
Bye.